70% of you guys think Pickle was nerfed in current Baki Rahen. This is due to him getting destroyed right now by Jack Hanma, and issues with his height or size in the current series, outlined recently as over 2 meters for his height and weighing over 130 kilograms. Funny enough, 90% of the comments here are people who voted no, but here is a Pickle was nerfed believer or angry boy. He first claims that current Pickle is shorter and lost a massive amount of muscle, something I guess many of you guys watching today agree with. This stems from when his weight was first mentioned back in the Pickle arc by Tokugawa when Jack landed that almighty uppercut that sent the Dino Boy flying, where Tokugawa claims in the manga that he sent the huge 200 kilo body into the air, implying that Pickle weighs 200 kilograms. And then looking at the anime version of this,
and he must weigh over 450 pounds!
He says a similar thing, but of course in pounds. However, take note, this is just from Tokugawa's opinion. It's not like they've had the chance to weigh Pickle in any way. And even looking at the current reveal about his height and weight, it outright claims over, meaning he could still be 200 kilograms. He could be over 2 meters in size. The main thing to take note of is right now he is shorter and most likely weighs less than current Jack, as portrayed in all panels with them side by side of one another recently in the story. The biting cyborg's evolution throughout the series has been insane, and it's not like it was a natural evolution. Bro has literally been doing height extension surgeries, takes copious amounts of steroids, making him bigger and stronger than he's ever been before. This guy also mentions a comparison to when Pickle first returned to the series in the final chapter of Baki Dao, or at the end of the Sumo arc, right before the beginning of the current manga Baki Rahen, where Pickle looked levels larger than he had previously in the story, like he's gone through his own insane evolution. The Dino Boy's bulking arc I described as when it was first revealed, due to Pickle now eating various animals, not just relying on leftover dino meat, these giga crocodiles, or the martial artist Pickle views as dinosaurs. He pretty much eats anything and everything, resulting in a possible size increase. At least that's what I thought when this panel was first revealed. When we see him right now fighting Jack, it isn't really the same, so I will give that point to you. However, this has been a common trend in Baki for years. The inconsistency of art, particularly with the size and height of characters. You can even look at earlier in the series and just see panels of Baki that look beyond goofy. Itagaki is a goated artist without a doubt, however these are things that have happened throughout Baki. It's not like we've had confirmed heights that are confirmed as outright wrong, and if we're being fair, for the manga version of the Pickle arc, that started in 2008 and went to 2010. Many years before most of us even knew what Baki was. That's when Itagaki first was working on the Pickle arc, meaning it's been over 14 years since that time, so maybe getting some things wrong with some inconsistencies would be a factor, but the main purpose of current Baki Rahen is portraying Jack as larger than Pickle. But coming back to this comment, another thing he mentions is how Pickle's skeleton should protect and negate blunt attacks from Jack. I think he's really talking about Pickle's thickness of his neck, allowing him not to really be concussed in any way, as in the recent chapter when Jack was pummeling him with these hammer strikes, it looks like Pickle was concussed. Something a lot of you guys need to remember is even within the Pickle arc, Baki Hanma was honestly destroying Pickle with technique alone. It's not like the Dino Boy doesn't bleed, and that fight got to a point where the people watching, Hanayama, Retsu, etc. were feeling bad for Pickle due to how much stronger Baki was, and the only reason Baki lost that fight was due to trying to face Pickle with raw strength alone and Pickle in that final clash also used a technique to overcome Baki in that final exchange when he had given Pickle the biggest chance he had in that entire fight. However, with that said as well, you always need to respect Pickle's durability, which is being shown right now. Jack is focusing on counters, very powerful blows, not letting Pickle land any of his own attacks, and even with all those, the only one that does major damage is of course his almighty bite, the revenge that Jack is trying to achieve. So yes, Pickle may be getting beat up right now, but he's by no means lost or close to losing in any way. This fight is going to be without a doubt long. However, looking at some other comments, another issue people have is how Pickle's raw strength should be viewed as peak of the verse due to him potentially overpowering Yujiro in this scene, and what Pickle mostly represents in the entire series, a built different Dino Boy. With it also being somewhat mentioned by Masashi after facing him that Pickle had grown as well, with him also technically having the ability to grow when he enters his transformation, something I still believe is going to happen soon in his Jack fight. But coming back to the idea that he was nerfed, you could argue it like this guy does. Technically, Pickle was nerfed in the sense that he definitely had the least growth of any relevant character in the series. In Baki, that's a nerf because everyone progressively gets stronger and stronger. With this being the take I agree with the most. If you want to argue Pickle is nerfed, this is the only fair way to really do it, and it does make the most sense compared to characters like Jack Hanma, who's gone through the biggest evolution recently in the story, being larger, stronger, more skilled, more tactical than he's ever been in the past. Taking his fight right now with Pickle beyond serious, not letting the Dino Boy land any attacks, focusing on counters, stopping Pickle at every chance because Jack is aware of Pickle's power and what he can do with a single blow, while the Dino Boy himself has more or less stayed the same since being introduced to the series. It's not like he's a martial artist, it's not like he's being trained by someone over the series progression. He's just been chilling, surviving in a world that you could say is more safe. He came from the era of dinosaurs where every day was spent fighting T-Rexes for the sake of getting some food, while now he just chills in parks, eats these small animals, smiles at random people, speaks to Baki somewhat, and has no reason to be growing in power compared to all these other guys who just live for the sake of growing and getting stronger. Particularly Jack Hanma, who is literally the protagonist of the current arc. So what do you expect to really happen when comparing these two? With Pickle always being portrayed as lower than Baki after that fight, even when he pulled up on the father-son clash, Baki was able to humble him instantly. In the Masashi arc, we all demonstrated that compared to someone like Miyamoto, he doesn't really stand a chance. Yes, Miyamoto was using his blade and cut him up, but with speed alone, Masashi was levels above him. Yujiro is still portrayed as the number one. Baki is regarded as a fellow strongest creature now, meaning we already have 3 characters above Pickle, and right now Jack Hanma's narrative is to be fighting his brother again, to be fighting Yujiro, and most likely to a very high difficulty fight, being on their level to a degree, meaning he will just have to be stronger than Pickle. As you already know, the power of being a Hanma transcends pretty much everything in the Baki story. Characters all typically get stronger in Baki, but to different degrees, particularly when comparing the Hanmas to everyone else. So was Pickle nerfed? Kinda maybe. Let me know what you think after all this down below. And did you know I have even more Baki content here on the Mysterious Chad channel? Check it out. And if you want to vote on the order of upcoming 30-minute videos, become a member like these absolute mad lads. Thanks for supporting. That's it guys. Peace.